Hi, folks. Welcome to the Mike Lopez TV Show. I'm your host, AC Mike. We will bring you all things Atlantic City, politics, sports, dining, entertainment, and so much more. Our first guest tonight is Petey Rancel, comedian, member of ACJokes.com comedy clubs. Then we'll be talking with entertainer with all the class and sass, Beth Tinnon. And then we'll be wrapping up the show with Robert Funaro, actor and director, who is also a cast member of the hit HBO series The Sopranos. So stick around. We'll be right back with our first guest. Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Here we are at the Glass Onion in Atlantic City. So happy that you're with us. Special guest here tonight, AC Jokes, Petey Rancel. Welcome to the show, my man.
Thank you very much. It is an honor and privilege to be here. I really appreciate it.
Hey, listen, man, if any of you folks don't know AC Jokes, they're all over the boardwalk, all over Atlantic City. This group has been 4 or 5 years now.
So, all right. So I've been here for 4 years. Matt Bridgestone, which is the original planter of the flag, has been out here for roughly 7 years.
I just saw him today cashing checks.
Yeah. He still doesn't understand how to do that over a phone yet. Technology is amazing.
So Matt, you guys have done a great job. Listen, you're all over the boardwalk as far as the monitors, hustling. One of the things I've always respected about you guys, you were literally out there selling tickets on the boards.
Yeah,
and you still do it.
Well, hey, chill out. I do that once or twice a month. I am now a stay-at-home comedian.
There you go.
I come out, I do my shows, but no. We started out grinding on the boardwalk. We were out there 7 days a week sometimes. For the first 6 months,
right,
I literally took 3 days off.
Right. Wow.
We were out here grinding, every single one of us, 7 days a week. We'd be out there from sometimes 10 a.m. till midnight because we'd have a 10 p.m. show.
Right.
So we would do the ticket selling all day, get told, no, I'm funnier than you. I'm not interested in your show. Is Kevin Hart going to be there?
Right.
So we did all that all day. And we have to, at the end of all that, still get on stage and deliver a good show.
And you do, definitely do. And again, my point in bringing that up, it's the hustle, folks. Nothing's handed to you by chance. I mean, once in a while, we may get lucky with these guys and gals. They do a great job of marketing, promoting themselves. So, Petey, tell us a little bit how the group got together, because there's a little story behind that also, right?
Yeah. So just like any great bunch of misfits, every single one of us has a great, unique story of how we found our way to Atlantic City. Matt came out here because he saw that Atlantic City didn't really have anything going on as far as comedy was concerned, because he saw that the comedy started closed, right, and he saw an opportunity. So he came out here first. And he was just kind of looking to bring whatever comedians he could, whatever entities he could to come out here. So then you had Buddha, who he's known Matt for 20 plus years. When he first started doing comedy, he started coming out here and selling tickets with him. And Mike Merck and Ray Vasquez and Zach Pickett. Actually, Zach Pickett was the first one out here in all actuality, because he is an Atlantic City resident.
Okay,
native.
That's right.
He is from out here. His mom worked in the casino out here. Yeah, my mom's be out here.
And it's great because, I mean, there's a competition. We know about the Comedy Store, that the Los Angeles and New York, what they did, but there's a competition between comedians, just like any other profession, right? But the way you guys came together, I thought it was kind of unique that you do it that way. You attack it as a team. That bring you, the notoriety. But there's all these.
Well, here's the thing: it gave me an opportunity to come out here and actually develop as a comedian. Right. Because when I was in New York, the only thing that was getting me stage time was that I was enough of a brute to stand out on a corner, rain, sleet, or snow, and yo, comedy show, come hear me talk crazy, money back guaranteed. It's a free show. So we're out there hustling tickets in New York and like trying to bark in shows. And that is the culture that actually brought us together, because everybody that came out here, you're a comedian. But the number one thing you need to learn about a comedy show is the one thing that matters is butts and seats.
That's it.
Every single show is a bringer show. You have to bring the audience one way or another.
Right.
And that's how we were able to develop.
And when you say that now, it strikes me because I do a little work with some boxing promoters, Rising Star Promotions, Tommy LaManna, Manny Rivera over at Harding Promotions. And when they book these fighters, they say you got to bring the butts to the seats. So it relates, right?
It's entertainment. Bring your crew. If this TV show was to go nowhere and nobody was to watch it, how much energy would you put into producing it?
Right.
You have to have an audience.
Right. So
it's ratings. The only difference is that your ratings are from somebody sitting on a couch eating ice cream out of a tub and Doritos. Actually, ice cream dipped Doritos and gummies. And then my people are going to be actually the people that are walking by, that are actually that we engage. And that's how we're able to create such a unique show out here, is because we engage with the audience before we even get them through the door.
And I love it. You're also engaging, again, like I said, on the boardwalk at the ACjokes.com.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. So Petey, we don't have a whole lot of time here, and we're definitely going to have you back. I think what I want to do for our next, sometime over the September, when we do this again, get up on stage with a few of you guys, and we'll sit there and break this down and have a good time with a double session. But recently, with Kenan Thompson, the Ultimate Comedy Experience. Tell me about that.
Super excited. All right, I'm super excited about this. We had Sherry Buchanan. Big shout out to her. She is the founder and producer of Kenan Thompson's Ultimate Comedy Experience. Now, what that is Kenan Thompson is her business partner.
SNL.
From SNL and from all that. Right. This man has been doing it since doing it was getting done. Right. I'm talking about from the beginning of this thing. So this man, he's a legend in the entertainment world. But the thing is, he's not a stand-up comedian. He loves the art of stand-up comedy. He respects stand-up comedians. Right. So he put this competition together to give comedians an opportunity that they're not really given or afforded in the day-to-day rat race of the comedy world.
That's awesome. And you have competed?
I did compete. I competed in the first round that they had. It was the first time that they came out to AC and held the competition here. I was one of the people selected to advance to the next round. And if I win the next round after that, then I'm in the finals. If I win the full competition, I get to be Kenan Thompson's special guest not on, but at SNL. At the studio.
But me knowing you a little bit, and we discussed this a little bit before this interview, folks, if you know anything about Petey will be up on the stage somehow, somewhere. It may not be that night, but it's going to be coming.
I don't care if I got to be tearing down sets and cleaning bathrooms.
That's right.
They will have me in that studio.
So we're definitely going to have you back, not only on radio, but on the Stockton show here to see how you made out and whatnot. Petey, tell folks again where they can find you, what casino, where you're at, and the times right now, as we are into the spring right now, folks, going into summer.
Okay, so we are acjokes.com. You can find us there on the internet. You can find us in the Tropicana Casino at Kiss Kiss Nightclub. And we do shows 7 days a week. We have ticket sellers in the building. Just come check us out.
There you go, folks. Tropicana AC, right on the historic Atlantic City Boardwalk, the first of its kind, the longest of its kind, acjokes.com. It'll be all over the place. Make sure you come check them out. We always tell you to live, work, play AC. That's what these guys are doing. Stay right where you're at. We'll be right back. Petey, thank you, man.
Thank you very much.
You got it, brother.
Appreciate you guys.
Welcome back to the show. Our next guest is multi-award winning recording artist, songwriter, actress, and producer, Beth Tinnon. No matter what Beth does, she brings her own special blend of class and sass to the entertainment masses, performing all over the world. And so happy that she's here somewhere in Atlantic City also. Beth, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mike. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yep. So listen, Beth has been, folks, a frequent guest to the ACMike show on radio and also here at Stockton University. We really appreciate you coming. Beth, let some of the folks know where you got your start. You know, you got that accent too, that Tennessee twang. Listen, this woman's been on every stage possible with Johnny Cash, on and on. I'll let you tell it.
I grew up in a musical family, being from Nashville, Tennessee, so there's a lot of live music, a lot of live music venues, and at a very young age I was able to audition for Opryland, which was one of the longest running shows in Nashville, called Country Music USA. So I did that for 4 years, and then I portrayed Patsy Cline and Winona Judd in the show, as well as many other characters. But that kind of laid the basis for me getting my foot in the door professionally, you know, and having a steady gig 5 days a week. So just growing up in Nashville, there's so much music. I just got back last week, matter of fact, and it's grown tremendously. And, you know, Music City, the interesting thing about Music City is it's not just country music. There's all styles of music. There's anything from blues to jazz, of course, country music, today's country, yesterday's country. So it's really interesting and nice to see how much it's really grown and how many more venues there are there. And it really is a great town.
It's interesting when you say that, when you were just talking today's music, today's country, and yesterday's country. Explain it. This wasn't going to be part of my question, but I love that you brought that up.
You know, traditional country, well, there's bluegrass, which is a completely another animal within itself. But traditional country, you know, is more of the upright bass, more of acoustic, with a certain style that I would almost say could be like early 50s rock and roll or jazz, maybe fusion in there, you know, if I'm maybe explaining it correctly. So I really like that style. I mean, I like the rock and country too, like, because sometimes I like to rock out, but I really like that upright bass sound. And when I do perform jazz, like I do over at the Hard Rock, I have an upright bass player and a piano player that back me up for more of a jazzy kind of cool sound. But we can weave some of that stuff in there because that instrumentation lends itself to that particular style, you know.
Right, and it's interesting you say that because some folks, I mean, here we get it, and I get what you're saying, but, you know, I think old school country, I mean, I love it, right? But what's going on now, too, it's a little different. I'm like, wow, that's in the country genre and whatnot. And you brought up Hard Rock, Atlantic City. You here in our area, in our region, you're an icon. Quite frankly to speak, and we appreciate you being on the show. But talk some about that, how you made that transition from out there, Tennessee, and then bringing it out here to the East Coast.
When I was working in Nashville, you know, they have producers from all over the country looking for talent because it's such a great talent pool in Nashville. So some cruise ships, some producers from Vegas were looking for talent for Disney Cruise Lines and a high energy, you know, dance party band. So I auditioned for that particular producer, went to Vegas, rehearsed with the band, and then I went and did 2 consecutive contracts with Disney with that show band. And that led to a brand new ship coming out. He also was providing talent for Holland America Cruise Line, which is a 2-week itinerary, and there's a lot of formal evenings. So the music on that was a little different, a little bit classier, and a lot more ballroom style dancing. So I was able to front a jazz group on that particular contract. And while I was singing on that ship, I met some folks who worked in Atlantic City in the entertainment industry, and they said, you know, you would really be great in Atlantic City. You should give it a shot. And so when my contract was up, I just came for a visit, and I was here 2 days, and I got an audition.
What year was that?
That was in September of 2000.
Wow.
And then shortly after that, I was able to audition for Dennis Gomes.
Right, great guy. Wow.
Great guy. What a loss for the city when we lost him. But he was looking for a personality to take over the Top of the Trop 5 nights a week, and I had a chance to audition for him, so I passed that audition. He was a wonderful audition, super nice guy, and so that kind of led to my permanent residency there, which I'm still at Tropicana, not 5 days a week. I bounce around all over the place now, but there's been a lot of ups and downs in the city. I've been here 21 years. I can't believe it. It just seems like yesterday I just moved here. It just blows my mind that I'm still in Atlantic City, and that's so sweet for you to say that. And one of the sound techs that was setting me up last week when I was at the Hard Rock, he said, "You're legendary," and I was like, "Oh, well, thanks." It's a very nice compliment. So. Yeah,
you're quite welcome, and I caught you many times at the Top of the Trop back in the day when I was running around with hair, and about 20 pounds later. But it was great to see you and then get to meet you and talk to you a little bit and come on out. Because again, the unique thing I feel is like a lot of folks don't realize that you can be a freelancer, sort of, that not just a Trop, and now you're at Hard Rock and that sort of thing. So how does that work? I mean, because with the casino industry, especially in entertainment and marketing and whatnot, it seems like there are always an influx of a group comes in, a group goes out. So how hard is that to maintain? Do you have an agent? Do you do it yourself? Or is there one? Sometimes, not all the time?
Yeah. There's one thing that I tell everybody about Atlantic City is it's always going to change.
Right.
The one thing you can count on is it's always going to change. So there's a lot of executives coming in and going out or moving around to other casinos or even to casinos in the tri-state, which, some of those relationships that you develop being a professional. And most people know that even though I am from Nashville, Music City, country, and I do love country music, I love all styles of music. I'm kind of like a Ray Charles type, like I just love all different styles of music. And a lot of people in town that know me know that I'm capable of doing a lot of different styles, and that's probably part of the formula of being a great entertainer, is that you can read your audience and see what their body language is telling you, and go more in that direction if they're responding more to one style or another. But you got to be able to do that, and you got to have that repertoire to bring that to the table, especially with the musicians that are backing you up. They have to be able to play any song or take requests.
Right.
Somebody's wedding song, and be able to do it in the key that you do it in. That's a friendly key for me. So yeah, there's a lot of little bitty things that go into that one big piece of pie to make it all work.
You can adapt, and that's what it's all about, being able to give the people what they want. So Beth, I wish we had more time, but I know you have some dates coming up, and we want to put them out there for you. So please let them know what's going on in May.
Well, there's a lot of exciting things. I'm involved in a show that's going to be at Smithville Village. It's called Alice in Wonderland, and there's a whole huge cast. I'll be performing a song during the fight scene. I'm portraying the White Queen, and there's 2 shows in May on Saturday and one on Sunday. And then all of this will be on my website, BethTinnon.com, BethTinnon.com. I've got Tropicana Casino and the Lounge there coming up May 13th, 6 to 10. That's my duo. I'll be in Cape May on May 14th. The performance, what I was just speaking of, Alice in Wonderland as the White Queen, will be May 21st and May 22nd. Resorts Casino on May 27th. We'll be performing at Delaware Park inside the Hops Lounge on May 28th, along with the Autumn Lake Winery, Hard Rock Casino June 12th. And then every Thursday at the Touch of Italy restaurant. They have amazing food there.
Yes,
and
do.
It's a real nice setup and a lot of really nice folks, great people to work with. So yeah, but always go to that website because I have all my dates, and all the information there at that website. And you can get on my mailing list as well.
We will definitely be checking you out, and we'll put it up as we put this interview up. Thanks again for joining us, Beth. We really appreciate it. The class and sass to today's music, country music, and the show. You brought it to our show also today. Listen, folks, stay right where you're at. We'll be right back with more of the show. Hey, folks, welcome back to the show. We have a very special guest for you tonight. Listen, Sopranos. Oh, gosh, I could go on and on. De Niro, Pesci, American Gangster. The Irishman, I could go on and on. Our friend, got to meet him a few months ago at a friend of ours restaurant, Robert Funaro, Sopranos. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Mike. It's a pleasure to be here on your show.
Listen, again, we got to hang out a little bit a few months ago, and what a great guy. Sat down, we shot the boo-boo, talked everything from politics to food to cooking to movies.
Chico.
Chico and Sons. Go ahead.
There you go, man. They got the Eugene special there going on, man. Some
That's
good
right.
food there. Roast pork with the roasted onions, and I showed them my little dry meatball sandwich with the provolone. They like that one too, man.
Delicious stuff. Listen, you got to get. I love the onions, folks. Chico and Sons. Get it. Get to Eugene. So listen, Robert, real quick, man. Give the folks a little bit of taste of of you growing up, and then your passion for acting. Let us know a little bit about that. Where'd it come from?
Well, I got the bug from my uncle, Monsignor Funaro. He's a priest, and he started in Howard Beach, producing shows to raise money for the parish. I think it was I forget, Our Lady of Grace or something like that, or it was a parish in Howard Beach, and then he graduated from there. Well, graduated. He got as he moved on, he became a very big fundraiser for Catholic charities in Brooklyn. So, Monsignor Funaro, I call him Uncle Joe. He's produced these musicals like Music Man, Hello Dolly. And, my family, we would always go to his productions. Of course, as being my uncle, my father's brother, it was a really big event, and we look forward to it every year. So that's how I really got the bug for acting. And then, I have a cousin who started doing a little bit himself, and we always ham it up. On Sundays, make believe we were the Beatles. He'd pick up his guitar, and so that's how I kind of got the bug really through him. And then, of course, later on, I decided to pursue it seriously.
And then talk to us a little bit about The Irishman. I mean, that was a big hit a few years ago. De Niro, Pesci, and I could go on with another long list of actors. Talk to us about how that was.
Yeah, that was, well, I had worked with Martin Scorsese prior in Vinyl. I played Tony Del Greco with Ray Romano, Armin Garrow, and of course Bobby Cannavale, who was the lead in the series. So that whole musical thing, and the crookedness of the music world, Morris Levy and people getting raped, artists getting raped. That's what they tried to do with Mick Jagger. So once you're in Marty's family, chances are you're going to be used again. That's what Armin was telling me, and it came true. My dream came true for him. For Irishman, but he was in the film The Departed, so which was Marty, and so he always uses it again. So I became part of the family, and then Irishman was just great. I mean, to work with Robert De Niro, that was really a career, milestone for me, and to sit with him and talk with him a bit about friends that I had. My mentor Richard Bright, who he knew from Once Upon a Time in America, and of course The Godfather, but they didn't really work in the same time period, but it was great. And also Ratonya Aldo, who was in The Deer Hunter with him. So I was his friend, and I had to introduce him to Skinny Razor. So I struck up this relationship with him, which all actors try to do if that's the case. If you're a person's enemy, maybe you don't want to really get too friendly with him. Right. You know what I mean? So, but I kind of broke the ice, and I felt really comfortable with him. And the scene it came out really well. We got the last take, which is the one that Marty said, just do whatever you want to do. And I added some lines. I didn't get paid like Steve Zalian, the great writer that he is, but it was a really great experience to be there, and also to work with Delma Shoemaker, the editor later on. All around a great experience. I wish it was more, but it's this career is has its ups and downs.
Right. I mean, it's amazing to when you drop off those names and then doing what you do with The Sopranos. I mean, we'll roll right into that. What was that like? I mean, I know it's all my questions like, what was that? But just getting that role and coming in, I think you had told me you came in sort of midstream, maybe, or a couple of years in. And how was that, Robert?
I came I'm sorry, I adjusted I came in the season 3. How I came in, Sopranos was really my film apprenticeship, my TV/film, because it was shot a lot like film apprenticeship in terms of working professionally on camera. I had never done it before. Although when Jimmy, whom I did A Streetcar Named Desire 6 or 7 years prior, and we did a Scandinavian tour, came into Caroline's because he heard from a friend that I was working there and there was a role available for me on the show. He came into Caroline's, we said hello to each other. We kind of ran into each other at Hell's Kitchen because that's where Caroline's is kind of located, near Hell's Kitchen. He hung out there at Rudy's and so did I. And at times how we run into each other, say hello. And then of course he went to California. Anyway, he came in and he found out through my friend Gordon that I was working there from a party. He went up to him and said, "Hey, if I was you, I'd get your friend Bobby Funaro a job on The Sopranos." That was season 3. And he actually did. He came in and I walked in. I was managing Caroline's on Broadway at the time. And he asked me if I had been acting. And of course I had to lie. I said, "Yeah, of course, on and off acting. Yeah, I'm doing it all the time, man." He said, "Well, I'm going to get you an audition. I can't promise you anything." And the rest is history. I stayed on the show and I continued on The Sopranos for another 2006, 6 years. 6 years because on the interim there's a break in the interim. You know what I mean? You don't shoot all year round, so.
Right, that's amazing. It's amazing, like you said, that the way it happens, Robert. Whether it's acting school or whatnot. A lot of times it's I want to say it's chance or being there and being able to perform and doing the right thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't take chances. If I never did the play with James in Europe, Streetcar, I played Stanley, played Mitch. I left some sort of impression in his mind. Now, James is one of the most giving guys in the world. He kind of balanced the books for a lot of actors. He knew that the chances of actors getting on Sopranos was really rare if you didn't have an agent, if you didn't have that help. He understood that. He understood that struggle. So he went out of his way to cast people that he thought might be right for certain roles that probably didn't have representation. He might have looked and saw if I had representation, maybe saw that I didn't. So he decided, well, I'm going to go to Caroline's to talk to him. And this is the kind of man James was. I mean, I know my really career to him, such a giving man, and his family, Deborah and Michael, who did great in the Many Saints of Newark. I mean, he's just a wonderful man who I really miss him.
And I appreciate you saying Robert's a humble guy. We just got to meet each other, folks. Not too long ago, very recently. He'll be out in May at Chico and Sons again by the time this interview airs. Robert, that's about all the time we got for this. But I do have a little radio show that I'd love to invite you on, and we can take the whole hour if we like one day if we do that.
Absolutely. Mike Lopez and Caroline Carr, thank you very much for your time. And it was a real pleasure being on your show, Mike. Thank you.
Robert, thank you so much. Folks, stay right where you're at. We'll be right back. Hey folks, it's our belief here at the Mike Lopez TV Show that you, the viewers and our guests, bring the show to life. Thanks to each and every one of you for joining us. To learn more about ACMike, follow me on Facebook at Mike Lopez, ACMike, LiveWorkPlayAC, and on Instagram at ACMikeNJ. Remember to live, work, play AC, and I'll see you on the 48.